fans, it's Kylie. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we are just gonna do a quick get ready with me. I'm gonna get ready for my day, show you a few of my favorite products that I've been using, my basic makeup routine, and that's that. So yeah, let's get into it. I already did a few things. I started off by having a clean face, washing it real good, and then I used my exfoliating swipies. These are by, I don't even know. It just says go-to exfoliating swipies, foolproof exfoliating pads for glowing skin. So I use a pad. I have dry skin, so I like to use these before I do my makeup just to make sure I have any patches off so my makeup goes on a lot smoother. So these are very helpful. So I wash my face, use these, and then I take cotton pads and a micellar water and wash my face with that again, because the exfoliating wipes have that grit to it and sometimes they can get left over on your face. Plus you want to wipe away any dead skin that might be left over. You can either wash your face in the sink. I just use micellar water, wipe everything clean, and I'm good to go. After that, I use an oil. This one is Melon Plus Goetz, Goetz. I'm not even sure. Recovery Treatment Oil. This one is supposed to help with the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, which I am 30 years old, so I'm starting to get, I want to prevent certain things. So I've been using this, and I don't know if it helps any, but it makes my skin feel good. So it might help, I don't know. I use it anyways. Then after that, I go in with an eye cream. The one I've been using is by QMS, the Intensive Eye Hair Day and Night Eye Cream, and I do use this day and night. So this is my next step. And then the last step is a moisturizer. I cannot find the moisturizer that I've been using. So today I just used my niece's Cetaphil moisturizer, but you always want to use moisturizer last because that locks in everything. If you put the moisturizer on first, then the oils and everything that you put on top of it aren't going to sink into your skin. Also, between each step, like after I put the oil on, I let that sit in for a little bit, make sure it sinks into my skin. That's a good time to get changed if you need to get changed, or go pick out your outfit, do something else while the oil sits into your skin. Try to watch a show or something like that to make the time go faster. So let the oil sink in before your next step. Then after that set in, apply your eye cream, and then again moisturizer. So it is the last layer that you do before your makeup steps. My face is pretty good right now, so we can continue on with the next step, which for me is my primer. Primer that I've been using that I really like is the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I think I got the like travel size or something from Sephora. This is kind of pricey, so I don't use it very often, but I do enjoy it. So I just use a small, like pea size amount. I feel like I'm gonna need more than that. No, maybe not. This one is just as it says. It's very grippy, makes your skin very sticky, which I think helps the makeup set pretty nice. The next step for me is my cream contour. This is by Fenty Beauty, and it is in the shade 03 Macchiato. I am just gonna be taking a bigger brush. This is actually a bronzer brush, and I'm doing this underneath my foundation because I feel like I can go a little bit heavy with it, and then when I go over it with my foundation, it mellows it out, but you can still see it through, and it looks good without being too powerful. And then if you need to bring any contour back afterwards, you can use this again. I usually go over with a powder contour after my foundation and setting and everything. Today I'm going to deepen my contour up a little bit. Not necessarily deepen, but I want a more structured look. So I'm going to go in with my Sonia Kashuk Defining Contour Stick. This doesn't have a shade on it. This one's actually quite old. It's almost gone. I love it so much. It's so creamy. It's affordable. I don't know if they still have it, but if they do, it's a pretty good one. Oh, also I have on my Pineapple Haze CBD Glossy Lip Butter. I love this stuff. It makes my lips feel so amazing. It's just a great balm to have on while you're waiting before your lipstick. It's a great balm just for daily use too. All right, good enough for me. Just gonna blend that out a little bit. I'm trying to just stamp this in rather than blend it everywhere because I want to keep it where I set it down at. I was gonna go for a lighter makeup day, but this ain't that light. That's okay. This does look crazy right now, but after I have the foundation on, it will tone it down. That's why I do this first and then I do my foundation. So let's hop into that. The foundation, this is my favorite foundation. I've been using it for years. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow foundation. This is the shade 202, which I don't think is my shade right now, but we're gonna use it anyways. I think it's just one shade too dark. We're gonna use it anyways. And I'm just going to dot that all around the face. I try to focus it on the spots that don't have any contour on it, so I can get more coverage in those areas, and then also on my neck. This foundation is pretty, it's a little bit sheer. It's like a medium coverage. It's very buildable. You can build it up to a more full coverage, but I like that it's a light foundation. It does not feel heavy. It gives you a beautiful complexion. I love it. It is more geared towards dry skin. They do have some other versions of this, like a matte version and I think just a regular version, but I use the Pro Glow just because I have dry skin and I like to have glowy skin as well. I do have a damp beauty blender already ready, and I'm just gonna use that to blend everything out, or in, I should say. All right, we are all blended out now, so I have a nice glowy foundation base, and all of that contour from underneath is no longer harsh, but I still have contour peeking through, so I have structure, which I love. We're gonna go into some concealer next. I don't have any Goods concealers right now, like my shade. This one is my normal winter shade, but with this foundation, it's gonna be quite light, but it's all I got right now. This is the Born This Way Sculpting Concealer in the shade Swan. I'm just going to use a little bit underneath the eyes and in the corner. I still like to put some in my T-zone just to bring some brightness to my face as well. Now with my concealer, I do enjoy either blending it out with my finger, or lately I've been doing it with a brush, and then if I need to, I will go back in with the Beauty Blender just to make sure there's no lines or anything and everything is finalized. I just feel like the brush or your finger can help press it into your skin more rather than soak it into the Beauty Blender itself. I like to bring it onto my eyelid as well, just to make sure everything is cohesive. And I don't want to bring it down too far. Right now I brought it down a little bit, I would say too much, but it's all right. It's all right. I can go back over that with the Beauty Blender and it'll be fine. All right, that's that. Now let's move on to blush before I set the under eyes, because I am using a cream blush. This is one by Anastasia Beverly Hills, the stick blush in the shade Latte. I really like this one. So I go on the apples of my cheeks and I bring it up as well, like an L shape, and then we'll just take the Beauty Blender and bounce that out. A lot of the times I will put another blush on top, because after I powder and everything, sometimes the blush can get taken away, especially if I use another powder bronzer on top of all this as well. A lot of the times I bring it across the bridge of my nose. I'm just not putting it actually on the bridge of my nose today, but I am blending it over with the Beauty Blender. All right, I just patted one more time with the Beauty Blender under my eyes just to make sure there's no creasing, and I'm going to use a powder. This is the Jaclyn Hill Luminous Powder in the shade Do Me. I've actually never used this under my eyes, so I'm gonna try it today. I have a highlighter brush. I'm just going to swirl that in a little bit and pack it under the eyes. I do not like using a Beauty Blender to do this because I think it's too drying for my skin anyways, to pack a powder underneath like that to bake it. And I'm just gonna go over it with a big powder brush. This one usually I used to use for like bronzing and whatnot, but I'm just gonna dip into that powder a little bit and set the rest of my face just a tiny bit. Then I'm gonna go in with a setting spray. I'm gonna go in with my Too Faced Cocoa Contour palette. I'm just going to use these two shades here and just go over lightly my contour just to deepen it up ever so slightly. This is more of what I would consider a contour shade, whereas the contour stick that I used is more of an orange shade, which is more of a bronzer, so I'm okay with that getting more all over the place. These ones have more of the gray tones, which are contour shades, so these are more for structured use, I would say. Now I could go back in with my cream blush again if I wanted that, but I think today, because I do think that blush kind of went away, I'm going to use my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush. This one has a little bit of glowiness to it, which I really like. Trying to keep that glowy theme to my face today. So I'm going to place that in the apples of my cheeks, and I'm kind of following along the contour, but I'm going up a little bit higher. This video started out me of doing my makeup like how I would on a daily basis, and ended up me doing my makeup on how I would if I'm going out or doing something. This is not how I do my makeup on a daily basis. I just started getting carried away and having fun, so oops. All right, next we're gonna go into highlighter. This is my Hourglass highlight stick. This is Hourglass Vanish Rose Gold Flash Stick. I love this thing. I like to take it on my beauty blender directly and then place it on my high point. I don't get too carried away with highlight anymore, I don't think. I used to. I mean, this might still be a lot for some people, but still love it. I'm gonna do another spritz. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dewy Set Setting Spray, by the way. I like to have the setting spray mostly sunk into the skin, and then I go back over with my beauty blender and I push the setting spray into my skin. Great, that's pretty much it for the face. I'm gonna do my brows next. I'm gonna do those off camera just because they're easier for me. I need to get up close to the mirror to do these, so I will be right back. Okay, I got my brows done. I got this e.l.f. brow lift. It's this clear brow gel. It's supposed to be a dupe for the Anastasia Beverly Hills one. I've never used the Anastasia Beverly Hills one. This is my first time using this, and this stuff is amazing. I think I used it wrong because I used this first and then I went over with color on my eyebrow, and I think you're supposed to do the color first and then set your eyebrows. So I did it backwards, but it still worked, and this stuff is really great. You should check it out. For my eyebrows, I used my Kat Von D long wear pomade in dark brown. I also did go over my eyelids with my MAC Painterly paint pot. I didn't necessarily need to because I did go over my eyes with concealer and everything, but this just helps give it a little extra. It's kind of like a primer for me. I don't use an actual eyelid primer. I use that. I prefer to set my primer or my Painterly paint pot. I prefer to set my eyes. I know a lot of people don't because it helps the color pop through a little bit more, but I do set my eyes with just a nude or like white bright eyeshadow to help me blend easier. If I'm going to be using some bright colors or something like that, then I don't necessarily set it every single time, but I'm going for a neutral eye look, so I don't need to make colors pop or anything. I just want a fast and easy blend. Next, I'm going to go in with my Visart palette. This is the Natural Matte eyeshadows. None of these have names on them, but I am going to start with these two shades here, go in the crease, and then I will deepen it up with this one here. I am starting out with a Morphe M441 brush. Okay, so I used those two lighter shades here in the crease, brought it up a little bit higher. Then I took this little bit darker brown shade here, did it in the corner, brought it a little bit throughout the crease, a little bit towards the inner corner, and then I took this dark brown and put it just on the very outer corner. I also took those two deeper browns, ran them underneath the eyelid, the bottom waterline. There we go. with a smaller brush, and then when I was done, I went in with that original light colored blending brush that I used and windshield wipers, just made sure everything was blended, and that's that for that. Now I could keep it just like this. I do like it like this. I would just go over it with like a lighter shadow, but I'm gonna make it a little bit more glitzy today, and I'm going to use, this is another one of my favorite products. This is the Hourglass Scattered Light Glitter Eyeshadow in the shade Aura. It is a beautiful rose gold shade. Now usually I'll use my fingertip for this, but my nails are really long today. I'm going to use a brush, and it applies just fine with a brush as well. So I'm just grabbing a packing brush, gonna stick that in there, and then put that more towards the inner corner and inner half of the eye. And when I apply it with a brush, it ends up being more of a topper than anything, which I really enjoy. When I use my finger, it does come out a little bit more opaque, but for today, this is perfect. I'm focusing it more on the inner corner and then slowly bringing it more towards the middle. Also, if you wet your brush down, that will help make it a little bit more opaque, or you could put a concealer down, or the matte painterly paint pot. If I went back in and added a little bit on the inner corner and then used my brush, that would also help the eyeshadow be a little bit more opaque. But again, I'm using it more of as a topper today than anything. I want that glitz, I want that sparkle, but I don't need it to be super duper glam. It's still really beautiful as is as I'm using it, so I love it. Now I'm gonna take a little chunky pencil brush. I'm going into my Tati Beauty palette, and I'm going into the Aura shade, the Aura Metallic. It's just a bright white shade. I'm going to use it as an inner corner highlight, and I'm also going to put this on my brow bone as well. I'd love to use a white brightening or nude brightening colored eyeliner for my waterline, but today I'm going to try a bronze color. This is by Sonia Kashuk. I'm gonna try to put that in my waterline. I don't know if I've ever used this, so I don't know if it's gonna work. This eyeliner is fabulous. It's so creamy, and this has been in my drawer for quite some time, open, and it's super creamy and nice to use. I like this. I'm gonna do my mascara off camera. I'm just gonna curl my lashes and probably use my L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara. I'll be right back. I will just wanna be really careful with this, so be right back. Okay, mascara is done. I did use my L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara, and then I went over it with my Lash Paradise Mascara. The Telescopic gives it a really, really good length, and then the Lash Paradise just thickens up a little bit. I do love both of these mascaras individually. They're both wonderful, but pair them together and I love them. So for my lips, I'm gonna start with my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lip liner. My lipstick, I believe, is downstairs, so I'm not going to be using that. I do love this shade. I guess I just don't love it as much as everybody else loves it. It's a beautiful pinky nude. I want more of like a nude. If you have a good nude to recommend, please let me know. So I filled in my lips pretty much with that as well, and then I'm just going to go in with my Maybelline Lifter Gloss on top. This is in the shade 002 Ice. It's just pretty much a clear shade. I love that gloss. It feels so good on the lips too. So my headband is disgusting with foundation now. Oh, my makeup is done, son. Now I just need to brush my hair and either straighten it or curl it or something. We're just keeping it in a messy pony for now, because I gotta figure out what I'm gonna wear. So that is it for my makeup. Again, definitely not my everyday makeup, but this is my go-to like mini glam look. I like it a lot. And those are some of my favorite products. I'm gonna try and make sure I list every single product in the description box below. If you have any questions, please let me know. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.